Story 1. Keeping my circle small and peaceful and letting go of what I can't control. I can't control what goes on in the world, but I can control how I treat others and act. Story 2. I make time to go somewhere quiet in nature and take in the breeze, the sound of birds, the trees and flowers, and the clouds. I do breathing exercises and try to remind myself that this beautiful earth exists in spite of the greed and cruelty of the humans that infect her. Then I try to continue to exist in spite of those things too. Story 3. Focusing on small victories. Lost a kilogram of weight. Let's go. Did a job very well at work. Good job. Just being happy in doing well in the spheres of life that I control. Story 4. Well, I am newly married. I have reasonably good health and am financially stable. After an unbelievably tough 2023 and early 2024, I am determined to look for the best in most situations. Story 5. Truthfully, it's an up and down process. Some days I'm feeling pretty okay. Other days I feel like absolute garbage. Right now I feel like garbage. But I just read through some of the comments on this thread, and it reminds me of the item that I bought to remind myself to keep going. I got a little enamel pin that says, "What if everything works out?" I have to try and find comfort in that. Somehow, someway, it will all work out. It may not go the way I want it to, but it might get there eventually. It may not give me the instant gratification that I want, but it does get me the result I need. So I just keep trying in little ways because things get better because I'm actively trying. Story 6. In Spanish, there is a saying, no hay mal que dure 100 años, ni cuerpo que lo aguante. This translates to, there is no evil that can last 100 years, nor a body that can withstand it. I learned in a Latin American history class that this saying arose during periods in Latin American history marked by a series of civil wars, dictators, and essentially evil politicians. This is how people mentally survived. This is what I have been repeating to myself. Story 7. By posting on the subreddit Federal memes not safe for work. I am extremely furious and pouring all I have into creating a moment of levity for our federal workers, who are currently being coerced into quitting by that individual. The website 4chan memed the alt-right into existence, and President Trump was posted into office. This is mimetic warfare. Let's post our way to victory. Long live the resistance. Story 8. I deleted my Facebook profile and blocked all sources of politics from anywhere. I'm focusing on my family and the little things in my world that make me happy. Story 9. 2 bags of grass, 75 pellets of mescaline, 5 sheets of high-powered blotter acid, a salt shaker half full of cocaine, and a whole galaxy. Story 10. Literally, I have 1 month. If I can make it through this 1 month and get to my conference, I can live my dream job, even if for a little bit. 1 month. Story 11. I am 20 days sober from alcohol, on a diet trying to lose weight, and am doing full-time school this semester. The only thing keeping me going is the thought of finishing my degree in December 2025 or June 2026 and immediately packing up and leaving the country. If international travel is not banned by then, of course. Story 12. It's hard as hell. I'm not going to lie. Positive music. Avoiding social media pages that make me feel insecure or less than. Pretending I am in a movie, and this is a chapter of finding myself. Confiding in my journal. Dreaming of and writing down my future where my life is better. Also appreciating what I have, and remembering that I once prayed and worked hard for the things that I have today. Story 13. I don't know how I've maintained it, especially with my current job, but I have always been optimistic. I just think that whatever you deserve will come to you. And I guess I think I deserve some things that are more on the good side. Story 14. That my job is needed internationally, and when I finish this second bachelor's, I will have more possibilities. Plus, I speak Spanish and German aside from English. Story 15. I'm not. I was hoping to deprive Trump of my attention, but since he is currently accelerating the situation similar to Nazi Germany, I feel I have to start making sure my exit plans are in order. Story 16. Honestly, perspective. There's the classic rule of fives that I've seen a lot around here. Will this matter in 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years? Once you get a handle on the bigger picture, even as stressful or bad things happen, It's really easy to focus on the positive and get through things with your head up. Also, focus on yourself. Make time for your passions and your well-being. Story 17. Realizing as a Black person that this is actually the same situation, just a different day. I remember exactly what I was doing when Kennedy was shot, and I've been through a coloreds-only door even though I'm not from the South, so yeah, same situation, different day. No supporters of Make America Great Again around me, living in a liberal neighborhood, in a liberal county, in a liberal state with a liberal governor. Feels so freeing to not care anymore. So glad I came to the realization within 48 hours. It was like, phew, saw a movie I liked today, Companion, hit happy hour with a $25 gift card, had some pizza, a sandwich, fries, shrimp, 2 vodka tonics, and an India Pale Ale. What are you all doing? Story 18. I'm not. I used to be able to deal because of my Lexapro, but that seems to be failing me now. I've been trying not to give up completely because of my small circle of people I love and value. I have been trying to focus on things I can do to get active and involved. Story 19. Is this question geared towards the Americans? Feels like it must be. Anyways, I am immersing myself into Xiaohongshu and doing my best to integrate their healthy habits into my daily life. Perhaps it's the novelty, but lately I have been feeling more positive. Story 20. Resetting my expectations. When you stop and just pay attention to the little things that have actually been going pretty well, you realize there is a lot that you have gotten used to and now you have forgotten. Story 21. I was inspired by a quote from George Conway of all people. Because they are evil, we must stand up to them. But because they are also stupid, we need not be afraid to. Story 22. I'm in an all-female play in New York City called The Visit of Mother Moses next week. It's about Harriet Tubman and the white women who supported her and had stations on the Underground Railroad. They were fighting for abolition but also women's rights. One was a domestic abuse victim, one was the wife of the governor and had an amazing marriage but lost most of her children and herself died fairly young, and one had 5 kids and her husband supported her in fighting slavery but not women's rights. So she let the women who worked for them in the house go because she felt it unfair to pay them less than the men and got up before her husband, went to bed after him, caring for the house and kids. I just started acting a year ago and it's what I was always meant to do. I'm so thankful to use my voice and be involved in the arts during this time. I will be doing as many social justice projects as possible. This one is all females and feels really good. If you're in New York City, look us up. Story 23. I got my CPAP machine a few days ago. With more sleep, I'll have more energy, won't binge as much hopefully, and will want to exercise more hopefully. Can't wait to experience the ripples in my life from decent sleep. I'm also about to order a bunch of marijuana. Story 24. Not all of Reddit or the world in general are whiny, pathetic, sniffling, hopeless, and defeatist scumbags. Reddit, as always, is so cringeworthy and insufferable. Story 25. I am sorry, but we need pain. No one is going to wake up from this insanity until there is real pain and suffering. I hate it, but logic went out when Trump became the nominee. Too many people think this is not real, and it is funny to watch Trump stick it to the system. Story 26. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about anyone but myself and my partner. Globally, it seems like we're in for an odd 4 years at minimum. Story 27. Ignoring my name for a moment, I hang out and talk with my friends. I know they have my back and they know I have theirs. If things were to ever get too bad, we will personally be okay because we will support each other. Story 28. Limiting my news and political intake to once a week, currently Fridays since I can sleep in after an existential crisis. Looking forward to winter being over. Calling my state representatives and planning ways to help and peacefully protest with some coworkers who share my morals and values. One will be testifying in court soon since she is a medical professional. Also, looking at different work opportunities to get a more livable wage. Considering getting a bigger car in case I ever need to live out of my car. Hopefully going back to college as long as tuition reimbursement at my company remains and I can receive the Pell Grant. Preparing for the worst life circumstances when I can and hoping for better days. getting my intrauterine device replaced so I don't have to worry about birth control rights for the next 7 to 8 years. My goal for 2025 is to survive, so that's what I will do. Story 29. Wine and cuddling my dog. Reality is difficult. I feel like it's wrong to pretend otherwise all day, but I do until I get home. I have family who are government workers getting furloughed for no reason, which is unfortunate. I have other family members who are full-blown supporters of Donald Trump and are happy with everything going on, yet in denial about the things they wouldn't be happy about if they believed it. I am trying to plan my wedding but feel selfish and hopeless about organizing a party and celebration during what feels like one of the darkest points in American history. Therapy helps a bit though. Kind of. Story 30. Never mentioned this to Reddit, but I am about to hit almost 21 years of service in the Air Force. I have to somehow come to terms with calling it quits. Even though I love what I do. Someone send help. I do not know whether to stay or go. All signs point to leaving, but I know that is the easy way out. I feel compelled to see it through until I can no longer positively uplift those around me. Personal and political beliefs aside, there is a lot going on from all sorts of directions. Until then, I have to hold the line and keep everyone's head in the game. We got this, you all. Story 31. Honestly, it's hard to do so. There's so much not to be happy about in the world. I'm trying not to pay attention to every small, frustrating thing. I hate to say ignorance is bliss, but it's true. On the other hand, I want to know what's going on. Happiness is fleeting at best. Story 32. I have this tiny hope that the administration will be entirely upended from voting fraud facts, legal suits, and protests by his party, and then everything will be reversed that's been undone. But I'm usually wrong on predictions. Story 33. Threw myself into a fandom and started a clips compilation YouTube channel. It's actually doing great, which is a fun surprise. Also, balancing paying enough attention and not overwhelming myself. Story 34. I got a puppy. He's 3 months old and super cute, keeping me on a schedule and giving my life some meaning. He gets me out of the house, and I'm spending less on things for myself to make me feel momentarily good because I'm focused on him. I have been more social with my neighbors and even had a conversation with our mail lady who adores him. Story 35. I switch off the news when it stresses me out too much. Remind myself I can only control myself, and even that's limited. Focus on positive thinking and rewiring my brain the last year to avoid old bad habits like drowning in self-hate and loathing. We'd helped a lot at first, but now I've stopped using it since a few weeks ago until I make some serious changes in my life. In the meantime, I've been doing more cardio lately. Story 36. I'm leaving to go on a cruise with my kids on Friday. I am refusing to focus on the bad in the world, and I'm looking forward to hearing my girls let loose and laugh on the ship. Story 37. Going to be honest, it's taking a lot of energy to be positive lately. Watching my favorite shows and listening to music helps. Also, knowing that things can get better helps. Story 38. I've just been disengaging from social media and doing what I can. I'm building up my freelancing business. Finally sorting out my digital and physical clutter after a lifetime of amassing a load of unnecessary things and just trying to get on top of everything. I'm in the United Kingdom, so while I'm not in the direct line of fire, our government is also pushing anti-trans rhetoric, and I'd really rather we didn't follow suit. I'm also making art. We should all be making art where we can. Story 39. Making video blogs and drawing have been really good. They've been helping me keep on top of what happens in my daily life privately and also express myself creatively. Story 40. I have a new job. I have good friends around me. I am building my future and working towards it. There is plenty of big picture stuff to be worried about right now, but depression, rage, and hopelessness do not help to solve it. I am going to focus on what I can change, what is within my reach, and do what I can to encourage other people to make a difference for themselves and others in their lives too. Story 41. I've got food in my belly. I've got water and heat. I'm healthy. I'm safe. There are no bombs dropping outside. So many people don't have these things. All glory to God. Story 42. One day at a time. Have to tune out of the world throughout the day to not lose your mind. Try to make plans and goals and find little bits of joy along the way. The world around me feels very wicked for a long while. Just try to live the best you can while you are still somewhat free and able. Story 43. I released a video game last month, and there has been a spike in sales this past week. Waking up to 5 to 10 sales in the morning has been a great dopamine rush. Story 44. Deleted Facebook. Only checking news once a day and never first thing in the morning. Spending as much time as I can with my kids. They remind me how to enjoy life in the here and now. Story 45. My wife is pregnant, and my son will be born next month. That's keeping me positive, but the United States is becoming crazier by the day, so I'm a bit afraid of how it will be for my son. Story 46. I work out. It doesn't give me the high after I'm finished or put me in a life's great mood, but it helps me distract my mind from problems for just an hour. Story 47. I'm overloaded at work. One of my dogs has brain cancer and doesn't have terribly long to live. My throat is sore. I'm gaining weight, and I'm not even thinking about the world outside yet. I guess my bright spot is painting. Story 48. I'm chilling at my grandma's right now, and she always tells me about her youth and is singing songs she remembers from that time. She grew up in the 1930s and 1940s in Germany. You can always stay positive. Story 49. Just bought a house. Closed last week. It is the first house I have ever owned. I'm terrified, of course. If things get bad, I could lose everything. But I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint my office black because I can. Because that's what I want, and it's going to look cool as heck with the original wood floors. I'm going to get a new couch and put it in my much bigger living room. I'm going to get some flower baskets in the spring and hang them from the hooks on the front porch. And I'm going to put a bird feeder in my backyard, just like I tried to at the last place when I moved in and was immediately told I needed to take it down. Maybe I'll put 2 up,